Ashes to Rubies, Rehab Life. This is a short video on recognizing a problem. Recognize a problem with alcohol. What is it to be called alcoholic? What is it? What is the problem? Not just about, oh, I just drink too much, but what is the actual problem? What's the definition of that? And so I think it's very important to define what a problem is, because then you can apply the solution. So just like your automobile, you turn on the engine and this light comes up, and sometimes if you haven't seen the light or it's not very familiar, then you would open up the manual and go, what's this kind of light? What is this saying? And you look at it and it's antifreeze. And so you go to your local Canadian Tire or hardware store, you ask the guy at the counter, the parts counter, could I get some antifreeze for this type of vehicle, please? Thank you very much. Now you have the solution, but you still need to know how to apply that solution properly. So even though you can label something as a problem, it doesn't mean that you are going to apply the solution into the right problem. What if you applied that solution into whatever you could open first, and maybe it was the brake fluid, or maybe it was the power steering fluid, or maybe it was the windshield washer fluid. Imagine antifreeze all over your windshield. That would be a fun mess. So this is quick 3 ways that you can tell that you have an alcohol problem, that you may be alcoholic, but not to fear, there is a solution if applied correctly. So number 1 is what happens when I drink. What's physiologically, what is happening when I drink? And so most people that put poison in their body, they would have a reaction where your body is like, okay, sir, could you stop doing this? Maybe your hands get clammy, maybe you get a little bit anxious, maybe you get a little bit sleepy. And then if you do overdo it, maybe you're super, what we would call hungover in the morning, throbbing headache. You know, your body's basically saying, this isn't worth doing, so let's not do this again. This is not a fun activity. The price that we have to pay physically is not worth it. That would be in your normal person that would drink. Maybe one beer or a drink would be a great idea and give you a little shot of energy, but then 2, 3, 4, you would get this adverse reaction. So in the alcoholic body, what would happen is, for me, I know that if I have a couple of drinks, I feel like I'm on the caffeine, I'm on the coffee, I start waking up, I can talk fluidly, it just brings me to life inside of me. I don't have any ill side effects. Even if I do overdo it, I'm not sick in the morning. I get up and just shake it off, and you know, on my way I go. So there's a physical thing that happens to, they say, 1 in 10 people. And so what happens to me, it brings me to life. It's like drinking about 5 coffees. And it just gives me a big shot, and I want more, and I want more, and I don't get tired. And I remember being out with people that don't have this problem, and by 10 o'clock they're sleepy and they're tired and they want to go home, and that stresses me out. And I'm like, I start to feel anxious inside. I start to feel this growl, this pull of like this anxiety of like, I have to get it in me at a great capacity, because I might get cut off right now. This might be the end, and so I don't ever want it to end. So, you know, last call, I'm getting, you know, 5 shooters and a pitcher of beer and a Grand Marnier, all this stuff, so that it fills this itch that I have. So that would be one sign that you have a physical craving, an abnormal reaction. When you put this substance into your body, it produces a craving for more. The next sign, so that's sign number 1. The next sign would be this, if you have adverse reactions to it. If you spent way too much money than you wanted to, if you wrecked some relationships, if you got fired at work, if you got hung over all the time and you feel sick and you're not eating properly, all these things, and you say, okay, I have to stop this. This is a problem. I'm drinking this too heavily. And so this is the second problem, is that I have a mental obsession that says, even though I have all these negative things happen in my life, I keep going back to it. So it's not like I just think about it all the time, or but it draws me back to it for this need of having this liquid inside of me so that I can be filled and continuously happen over and over and over. And so it's like this mental part where I want to quit doing something, but it brings me back to it every time. So once I start, I can't stop, and once I stop, I can't stop starting again. And so that's that vicious cycle of where my life starts to really lose power. I have no power to choose anymore because I have this mental obsession and this physical craving for more of it when I put it in my body. The third sign is, and I think we all have this at some level, I think all humanity has this, is this spiritual sickness, this irritability, this restlessness, this discontent, this pit in the bottom. The sky is falling in, this anxiety, this I don't feel social, or I need everybody to picture me this way, and so I'm the actor and the director of the play, and I want things to go exactly how I want, and it's like this big weight. And so when I drink, it gives me this positive affirmation. It's this solution to this spiritual problem that I have, this heaviness that I have. And so these are the three things that could tell you that you may be alcoholic. So you have this abnormal reaction that produces a craving for more. You have a mental obsession that keeps getting you to go back to it. When you're withdrawing off of it, even a week or two later, you keep going back to it. You keep going back to it when you don't want to. And then it's this solution to bring you ease and comfort. And so we look at this as a spiritual problem, a spiritual sickness, but it's in our physical bodies, and it's in our mind as well, and in our spirit. So just like you need antifreeze for your solution of your car overheating, you need a spiritual solution for a spiritual problem. And so we have a process that we undertake where it's actually this process of admitting this, of recognizing the problem, and then asking for help, and then asking for a spiritual solution from God. And so God really, he doesn't want to fix your problems. He wants to give you a new life. He doesn't want to fix your life. He wants to bring you into a new life that he already had for you, that he has for you. And so this is, we go under a process of really coming out of denial, coming into admission of it, and then being willing to do whatever it takes to apply this new solution, which is a spiritual solution, which is God coming into your heart. So instead of alcohol running the show, instead of what I give my time to, what I give my thinking to, what I give my money to, is what I worship. And alcohol changed my actions. Within a year, within a year of drinking, my parents didn't know who I was anymore. Where's the precious little John boy that we used to know? He's totally changed. And so many times we think that we have to change to come to God. But we come to God as we are, and he'll change us. Whatever you worship, whatever you pour your heart into, your finances, your thinking, everything that you have is what we call worship, in hopes of life and validation back. And so that's what God says. I will be your comforter. I will be your peace. I will be your hope. I will be your anchor. I will be your fortress. I will protect and guide you. I will be light to you. I am the shepherd. You are the sheep. And so we have a good shepherd with good for us. And so if you're trapped in just even wondering if you're drinking too much, or if this is a problem, if these three things apply to you, then yeah, you may have a serious problem, and the only way out of it that we know is a spiritual solution. And so basically the pathway that we take is not wide and broad, but it's narrow. And it's really the death of self. This is the life that I created. This is the life that King Alcohol, this is the life that I got out of my addiction or my alcoholism. And this is a new life. I don't know what it is yet, but if I give my heart to God, he will give me life out of it. My actions will change. I don't have to put in behavioral therapy. Whatever I pour into my heart, whatever my heart worship is, will change my actions. And so when I turn my will and my life over to the care of God, that's what I'm turning over, is my thinking, my obsessive thinking. And so as alcoholic people, we do recover. And so I sit before you today as a recovered alcoholic. It means that I have got a new life that God intended for me, that God is leading me in. I have had the mental obsession removed, that alcohol is no longer my friend. Alcohol is no longer a solution that is suitable. It stopped working for me. It turned on me, and I turned to God. And through the process of dying of self, I was able to turn my will and my life over to the care of God, and I have a new life. I have a new employer. I have a new governor. I have a new director. I'm not the director of the play anymore. I have a new principal, and I'm his agent. And so he gives purpose. He takes our jobs, our life, and turns them into our mission. And so if you're struggling with those three things, this craving for more when you take it, not being able to stop when you say stop, changing your mind all the time. You know, I want to be in bed by 10. It's 10 o'clock. I'm going to have another pint, or I'm going to have another glass. Keep changing your mind. That might be a physical craving for more. And then this mental obsession that you keep coming back to it, keep coming back to it, keep coming back to it, even though you don't want to. And then this irritable, restless spirit that just needs this ease and comfort. Those three things are a good sign that you may have trouble with alcohol, but there is a solution. So if that hits home, then reach out and just maybe we can guide you to where to go. We can maybe point you in the right direction, and maybe, you know, our job is lead people into relationship with God. So we are God's agents, and we're his spiritual ninjas. So thank you. Please like, share, comment, hashtag rehab life. 3 signs that you may be alcoholic. All right, have a good afternoon. We will see you soon. All right, keep the peace and be of good behavior, and wash your hands.